What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Dash for DJ Ois or DeJoyce or DJ Joyce. Or Josie. We're doing this for you. We're doing this for you. So looking at this here, doing a quick little price update, right? On the weekly time frame. Oh, is this? I don't think this is the all-time history. Yeah, we've got more than that. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I thought. All right, there we go. So, overall, Dash was postured rather bullishly, I would say, right? Like you had this kind of, maybe not a straight line up, but most crypto has this kind of curve that they're following more or less. But you've broken out of it. I think with this move here, you've broken out of it in the midst of the bear market that we just finished relatively, or at least most crypto did. Maybe Dash hasn't finished its bear market, unfortunately. But you did break this line here. You broke this like kind of support zone, and you just broke that relatively recently. You're coming up now potentially to find resistance on that area. You're not really finding support in an area to me that would make too much sense from a price perspective. I would expect that this thing goes lower. You might see price go to $15.15. You're sitting at about $32 now. It definitely could go lower. It might not, and the one thing saving it from going lower would be the fact that the rest of altcoins and crypto right now look bullish. But things can be bullish, things can be making strides higher, and coins that are not going to be relevant, they can ultimately be making lower highs that send them down. I do think ultimately, again, that somewhere down in this area is possible, but you're not going to do it in a straight line, right? You're gonna crook and wiggle your way down there, and then maybe find some support down here, and then in the peak of the bull market you might end this downtrend and continue to build from there, ultimately giving you another lower high and then just beginning your ultimate descent into nothingness. Unfortunately, I do think Dash, it was a very popular crypto back in its day, its heyday. There was a lot of hope around it. I think it's become irrelevant. I don't know too much about it and like what it's doing right now, but the chart does not look good. It does not look encouraging. And I would expect that, here was your 2019-2020 bear market low. You've got a lower low here along with a lower high from your bull market. This is not good structure. This is not a coin that remains relevant with this kind of structure. It is possible, anything's possible, but ultimately I do think it's going to probably go down. On the weekly here, looking at this thing, yeah, the weekly looks kind of strong. A little bit more continuation up. Again, maybe just a lower high. I doubt you break this high, sitting at 74 cents. You're at 32 cents now. I know a lot of cryptos are doing this, right? Whee! Sorry, they're going like up more. I don't think you're going to get that with Dash, man. I think it's going to go like whee. It's going to go there, and then you're going to go down. Or probably not even that high. Let's just see what it's been doing, marching its way down here. So, an area on the RSI that you might expect to find resistance on would be this kind of area at about 60, the bullish area of control. That makes sense. Resistance, 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 and a little bit of resistance there. You're getting close. You might go down. You could continue to go higher. You have gone higher already once, but let's just see here. RSI for the moment looks decent, rather neutral, but kind of decent. On the daily, actually, this does look like a nice little bottom, maybe like a momentary bottom, this kind of like little look here, but again, I want to measure these real quick with dashy poo. Alright, let's see, from top, that's in May of 21, you went up to your 618 and then you came down, classic, and then actually finding resistance, getting rejected hard on your first attempt and not being able to make it up a second time. This is a classic situation that you'd see when you're looking for extensions, and then finding resistance on your 236. That's kind of the nail in the coffin. You broke below your 100. You're beyond forgiveness at this point, but you came up and found resistance in this area again. So now let's measure the extension just real quick. I'm just analyzing what it's done in its past to kind of get an idea for where it may go now. Has it bottomed? Will it go lower? Where will it go if it goes lower? Where will it go if it goes higher? From bottom to top here, you did find support on your 618 again. It does like its 618, found resistance on it here, and that was how the opposite happened, where you found resistance from this high to this low. You found resistance here, and then you had a lower low, or lower high, I'm sorry. You found support here, and then you actually had a lower low on this to the bearish effect, this would show that you're going to get an extension. I don't know how much sense that made, but I know what I'm trying to say. I just don't know if I'm saying it right. But again, you came down to your 1272, found resistance on the 6.9 area, had a very deep pullback there. And then down to your 1618, 1886, man, there you go. Found resistance on your 1272, seeing deeper extensions. Yeah, man, I think you are. I think you're in a web of downside right now. You probably, if you were to go up from here, you probably would go to about 51.60, somewhere around there. You might not even make it there though, man. You might get stopped out around this $40 to $43 area, $39 to $43 area. I think you're not going to stop until down there, man, around $17, $17 to $18. I think you're going to go there, maybe even lower, before you see some real major turnaround. I mean, this right now for this thing, no offense, it is kind of a major turnaround. It's just a little break from the downside. But let's keep doing this. I'm sorry, I'm getting all caught up. 382 resistance, 618 kind of. 0.5, nothing really. Yeah, I'd say it's about 382. Maybe this one over here. Not quite. I guess I would measure it from here. Didn't even hit its 382, man. That's very weak. You at least like normally see a 382. That's a very weak thing, man. I just more saying that I think we go lower. I don't think you show this weak of a reading in your fib scales. Break below your 100 and you don't see an extension past that. In fact, with this look, I would expect that you'd see an extension. This might be where we get our like quote unquote more realistic numbers to go to. 1272, found support on it. Last time you saw this, you actually went up. You found a little turbulence here at 886, but you went up to your 61869 area, which is right there at about $41 to $44. Before I said 39 to 43, 41 to 44. That's confluence right there. That agrees. Overall, a lower high, right? And then probably down to form a lower low. And where would you go? Well, the fact that you came all the way up like this. Last time what you did whenever you saw this, you actually went to your 1618. So maybe you do something like that, down around $17 again, right? And that, again, this, what I was talking about it in the very beginning, if we go all the way back, that's kind of right above this area that you found resistance in the very beginning of this thing's history. So I would think you go past it. You did last time even. That would take you right to your 1786 deeper extensions. And if you continue the path that you did whenever you had this extension over here, from bottom, that's not the right bottom, but from bottom to top, what I'm saying you did before, this is what I'm comparing it to, right? You found support on your 1272, went up to your 618, went down to your 1786, came up and found resistance on your 1414, went a little bit lower, resistance ultimately on the 1272, and then you went all the way down to your 2272. I know it looks hard because there's a lot of lines, but ultimately this thing might not bottom until it sees prices below $10 is what I'm trying to get to. Maybe it's not a straight line on the way down there. You find support here, come back up, and then you know ultimately find resistance going down. It might not go this high. Maybe it turns around right here and then goes down. But I think something for a low on this thing before it really joins the bull market. And when it joins the bull market, unfortunately, it's not going to be fantastic. Maybe it will. We'll see. We'll go over that. But whenever it's like found its low, its bear market low, because it's still in a bear market right now, I would say it's probably going to be around 17. Oh, I guess not. It would be around $15. If not, maybe down just above $9. So $9 to $15 would be my expectation before this thing wants to make any kind of attempt to go higher. Now, let's say it does that. Let's say it goes to a little bit above $15. Maybe it doesn't go as low as I'm saying. Let's say it goes to $16. Let's be hopeful. Then where it might retrace to, assuming that we keep this trend going where we have lower lows and lower highs, just roughly eyeballing it, something like that, you might see a 12x in this thing, which, hey, that's not too bad. From the current price, that's, if you ride out the drop after this, that's still a 6x from here, so that's not bad. But there are a lot of cryptos that are potentially going to do way better. Let's say we go again to that $16 area. The 618 would be up here. Yeah, I do, man. I really think, is this where? Yeah, because that's where your like previous highs are, right? Something like that, right there at $15. 618's all the way up at 271, so maybe you could go as high as that, but man, I just think it's ultimately this thing's going to be dead and forgotten about. I made a very long video just to say that. So if you guys like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. Probably a little bit more up for now. You're sitting at $32. Again, I think you would go, let's see, where was that 618 at? Top to bottom here. You might go all the way up to about $48, something like that. You might turn around at $36. But all in all, I wouldn't expect that you go higher than this high. I would even actually be kind of surprised if you went higher than this high. But if you do, you probably get stopped out around that $49 to $53 area, and then lower you go. So that's all I got. Take care. Bye-bye.